What is up? Welcome back to Live at 5. This week I'm going to talk to you all about mindset because mindset is confusing and fluffy and hard to grasp. It's super easy and straightforward to be like, oh, I'm training my fitness, oh, I'm training my nutrition, right? You're like exercising and you're eating, but like mindset, what you're thinking? So I'm going to break down to you today why it's important to train your mindset on a framework instead of just randomly trying to apply mindset ideas. I'm going to talk about my story with mindset, why I'm so passionate about it, the two main ways to do mindset work, and also the things that you can use to tell if you need mindset work. And before I jump into that, I want to direct you to the link in my bio. I am doing a confidence masterclass, which confidence is an outcome of mindset work that we're always looking to create. So next week, I'm super excited, a 2-day masterclass, Tuesday and Wednesday, all about building confidence. So I'm going to cover on Tuesday the knowledge that you need to understand how to build confidence with your fitness, nutrition, and mindset. And then on Wednesday, the tools that you need to apply that knowledge, because those are very different things. So if you have any questions about that, shoot me a DM. You're going to want to make it live if you can, but even if you can't, I will still send you a replay of the video. So without further ado, let's jump into mindset. So first off, why does mindset need a framework? Why can't we just say, think more positively? Have you ever tried to just say, oh, I'm going to think differently? It doesn't work. You need to have something tangible, some habits to practice in order to do mindset work, because training your mindset is no different than training any other aspect of your life. It is a series of habits. So the way that we think, the way we react and respond are just a series of habits that are almost always subconscious. So when we're thinking about habits, we're thinking about the natural responses that we have to things, whether we have intentionally developed a habit or, which most of our habits are, we are just simply conditioned to respond to these in these certain ways. That's how our mindset works. So you'll notice, first off, that word notice. Let's start with the framework of noticing. So mindset work is based off of the framework of having awareness of your mind. It's metacognition. It's thinking about your thinking and then noticing how those thoughts are creating feelings and then how those feelings are influencing how you act in the world throughout the day. So going back to, we need a framework for your mindset work. So when we're trying to understand the way that your feelings are interacting in your day-to-day life, we first need to have a framework of mindfulness, which is just having that awareness of what your current state is. And this in and of itself can be the hardest part. And then the second piece is integrating practices that allow you to either shift your state or relate to your state in a different way. And so I use a lot of different practices in order to help my clients adjust the way that they're feeling or the way that they're relating to their feeling or their thoughts and beliefs or the way that they're relating to their thoughts and beliefs. But the first step to creating all of this is that mindfulness. Now going back to this idea of a framework. So when we're trying to change habits, we're actually very, very simple creatures. We need one simple thing to focus on. We need a trigger that creates awareness that we are focusing on that thing. And then we need a direction to take that work. So the way a framework for your mindset works like this is you might say, okay, I notice that when I come up against something hard, say I have a new problem or a new task, I get really down on myself and I don't feel like I can accomplish it, right? So say it's, when you go to the gym and you try and work out, you get really frustrated with yourself because you don't know how to use the equipment, right? So this is an example. So what we would say is, okay, we want to change your relationship with this experience. This is the mindset work so that you then are able to overcome that feeling and do the thing you want to do. So what we might say is, okay, let's integrate mindfulness. So when you go to the gym, you are going to start to have that reaction and we want you to become aware of that. And then we'll take one of those pieces of the mindset framework and say, we're going to have you practice applying that. So I might say, all right, now we're going to practice growth mindset. So when you get to the gym and you start to feel that frustration kick in, you're going to say, I don't know how to do this. This is frustrating. I acknowledge that. And then you're going to add the word yet to the end of that. And then you're going to start to process through this whole framework of, okay, I don't know how to do this yet. Doing new things is challenging. I understand that doing challenging things brings up challenging feelings sometimes, and I'm going to move forward anyway. So as you can see, this whole framework walks you through a series of processes that your mind can follow. And it's very, very important that you have those anchors, that you have that whole framework, because otherwise mindset work is just like, oh, go to the gym and feel better. That's not a realistic thing to tell someone to do. Have you ever tried to just feel differently? It doesn't work. You need to have a framework in order to make your mindset work actionable. And so this is what I work on with my clients. This is what is going to be in my upcoming group program, Align, is giving you these tools to actually take mindset work and make it actionable in your day-to-day life, okay? So that's why frameworks are so important. It's no different than if you go to the gym and you're trying to get stronger, right? You need to have a fitness plan. You can't just go and do random things. You're not going to get any stronger. You need to be able to progressively overload your body over time and see that progress. Your mind is no different. You need to be able to progressively overload your mind and change your mental habits. So let me know if you have any questions about that. Let's talk about my story with mindset work, because I've been doing this work for about 2 years now, and I can honestly say it has been the biggest game changer of my life, because when you start to have a different relationship with your thoughts and feelings, going through the world is just a lot more fun and a lot easier. So I personally struggle with anxiety a lot, and this manifests as perfectionism. It manifests as social anxiety, as being afraid of being bad at things. And these are all pieces of my experience in the world that mindset work has allowed me to interact with in a healthier way. So I used to be really avoidant of when I would feel like something was challenging, and it would trigger my anxiety and I would start to get really stressed. But then I understood that I needed to learn new sets of skills in order to interact with my own feelings and emotions differently. So I used to avoid hard things, but now I'm able to take on hard things and see progress in them in ways that I couldn't before. And it's because of this mindset work. And it's because I've learned how to be kind to myself when things are really challenging. I've learned how to view difficulty as a good thing and a sign that I'm making progress. I've learned how to take feedback from people and see it as valuable instead of a sign that there's something wrong with me or I'm being criticized. And that doesn't mean it's always easy. I don't want to pretend that that's the case. But having these tools in my toolbox has allowed me to interact with the world in a totally different way. And what's really cool is going back to this is all a framework, I can teach it. That's the whole point of also having it be a framework, is that it can be translated. Again, it's not just, oh, feel better, why don't you just try and not be sad? It's like, no, we're gonna understand more of what are the things that trigger your mind to go into these different states that aren't serving you, and then how can we set you up with new skills to go a different direction. All right, so the two main ways that you're gonna do mindset work are in the moment and also exercises. So one of the ways that okay, so I'm gonna break those both down. So in the moment, when you are out in the world, your mind is always working. You may have noticed this. And so as you're going about, sorry, there's a school bus going by. I'm standing on my porch and it's really loud sometimes. But when you're going about your day, you're constantly having this influx of thoughts and feelings. And believe it or not, we actually don't have control over our thoughts and feelings. Our body is, or at least our reactions. So we're constantly reacting to the world around us, and what we see, our reptilian brain is kicking in and saying, all right, you should be afraid of this thing that's coming up, or hey, this flower is really beautiful. So our reptilian brain, our older part of our brain, is kicking in and constantly giving us input, because we don't have the attention to be constantly processing everything that we see and experience. And so the first way of doing mindset work is, as you're going about your day, just having a consistent mindfulness of what you're thinking and feeling, and then deciding how you want to engage with and interact with that based off of the frameworks that you're practicing. So for example, the gym example from earlier. So you go to the gym You noticed, oh, I'm starting to feel insecure and stressed about being here at the gym. Okay, I'm going to practice viewing challenges as a positive experience and understand that growth is inherently uncomfortable, so I can expect to have these feelings. Then I'm going to choose to carry on and do my workout even though I'm feeling uncomfortable. So this would be an example of mindset work in the moment. Another example would be you feel yourself starting to get frustrated about something at work and you say, okay, I noticed myself getting frustrated. I noticed that it makes me want to just shut down my computer. But instead what I'm going to do is scoot back from my desk, take a deep breath, and then apply some self-compassion, understand that this is really challenging and I know that challenging things are hard and it's okay for me to continue to try this even though it's pushing me in these ways, right? So those are in the moment. Another mindset work way of practicing is to actually do work outside of the day-to-day life and sit and journal and sit and meditate and sit and focus. And these are both very valuable because what happens is the time that you spend taking away from the day-to-day world to journal, meditate, focus, gives you the tools to then, when you're in those moments, in the moment, in your day-to-day life, to know what to do, to know how to respond. So I highly recommend integrating both of these types of mindset work, because if you're only sitting and journaling and that's your mindset work, then it's not going to be applicable to your day-to-day life. But if you're only trying to do mindset work in your day-to-day life, you won't have that framework that you need from the focus time in order to apply to those moments in your day-to-day life. So the two ways, again, are taking time out of your day-to-day to focus, do this mindset work intentionally, and then to just allow your life to be mindset work. They both are important and they both matter. And finally, how do you know if you need mindset work? Well, really, it comes down to how are you feeling? How are you feeling about your thoughts and feelings? How are you reacting? How are you responding? And are you able to do the things that you want to do? So a lot of times when we believe that, or when we're not able to do the things we want to do, it's not because we don't have the to-dos, right? Like if you think eat healthy, you know what that means. You know it means eat fewer processed foods, eat more whole foods, try and get a balance of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, and there you go, right? Like you think that, oh, it's just that I don't know something, but a lot of times it's that the mindset piece needs to be reset. So if you're not loving the way you're feeling, if there are things that you want to do that you're unable to do right now, then those are really good signs that mindset work could be good for you. And honestly, everybody needs it. If there is any way in which you can improve your life that will impact every other aspect of your life, mindset work is very high up there on that list, right up there with sleep, right up there with exercise. It is so important. And it's also why I do mindset work in addition to the fitness and nutrition, because it doesn't matter how much fitness and nutrition knowledge you have, if you don't have the mindset in order to act on it, it's not going to do you very much good. So that is my 2 cents about Mindset 101. I love talking about this subject, and like I said in the beginning, you need a framework in order to build your mindset, because your mind needs anchors to connect you to. It needs processes to walk through. And if you're interested in learning more of those, head to the link in my bio, sign up for the Confidence Masterclass. It's going to be so much fun. And if you want to go really in depth and really learn how to revolutionize your life with this mindset work, then you're going to want to join my upcoming group coaching program, Align. It's 12 weeks, and we're going to take these mindset frameworks and help you become super proficient in them, help you use them in your day-to-day life in order to interact with the world in a better way, to be able to do more of the things that you want to do. It's changed my life completely, changed my clients' lives, and I know that it can do the same for you. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you for jumping into Live at 5, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your week.